Oh, who's going to be first? We'll never know. Why do you look so disgusted?
I was actually just for my background. I went to a website to just take the picture off of it for the background,
Yeah.
and it's an article that says the top 10 greatest superheroes without superpowers in comics today.
Batman.
Well, yeah, Batman's the number one, obviously, but they have Captain America's number two, and I'm like,
excuse me?
doesn't he have like super all of it?
Super all of it.
Isn't he? Like he's a super soldier. That's the whole superhero. It's in his fucking name, super soldier. I don't know.
In the MCU, he's like the original superhero. And he has the super serum, soldier serum, super serum.
Dangus says unite.
Daco wins. Hello, congratulations.
Daco.
Okay, I guess that with that we can... Wait, hang on. Oh my god, I almost did it again.
Oh my god, you're terrible at this. Okay, let's begin. Wait.
Sorry, dude.
You're hyping me up, bruh, and then you're taking it away, and I don't know how to feel.
Well, it's because the music is right here, ready for me to go, but I have to share my sound first.
Okay, kids.
I just don't know why nobody buys. They come. Hey. All I want to know. I walk through the sales process. I ask them what they need. I find them what they need, and they don't buy. I don't know why.
Outlanders, they come here, they come to my shop, they don't buy. I should get that soundbite and put it in the intro.
May the force be with us. Fucking A.
Hey, good day, Galaxy. Rogue Squadron Podcast. Thank you guys for tuning in.
I'm Commander Cody.
I'm Opa.
We're back.
Yes,
Woo.
we're back at it.
With
welcome, Daco, in the chat here.
Yes, he gets the award for first in the chat. Complimentary supply of future podcast episodes. That's your treat. I hope you enjoy it.
You can get 252 episodes all at once, or you can get one episode a week for the remainder of your life. So you have to choose.
I'm going to start sending you flash drives with podcast episodes on them. There are 17 from the archive that most people are not privy to.
Not either.
And I won't ever listen back to them, I don't think.
I would delete them just for... What's the amount of time that you can commit a crime? What do they call that?
Oh, the statute of limitations.
Yeah, statute of limitations.
Once that is passed,
once that lapses, we'll release.
There's also, I think, too, that we never put up in the first place, that they're probably on a hard drive somewhere in my office.
Like some of the earliest ones probably should never be humanized. Yeah.
Well, no one's taken us down yet, so let's keep going.
7 years later. Yeah, someone's going to find... Mopar's going to get a hold. Not me. The actual Mopar's going to get a hold of this and be like, shut it down, bro.
Yeah. That's usually how people get canceled. Someone says something stupid, and then people will go in a mob through their back catalog, like look for old tweets and old episodes. Be like, oh, they said something questionable 8 years ago. Shut them down.
Shut him down.
That's what's going to happen to us. So
What did he say?
enjoy us while you can.
He called Mara Jade a dirty bitch.
One of the best quotes of the show. You can't cancel us for that.
Can't. It's scripture. So, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm sure I said that, but I like to reiterate. Episode what?
265, dude.
5. Yeah.
We're here. New additions. My Padawan has arrived.
Commandus.
I'm officially a Jedi Master. I got the seat on the council, and I got the rank of Master at the same time. So,
Commandus, a clone. You're starting your own clone army.
Commandus the clone. Yeah, I alternate between saying that she's a clone and she's a Padawan. I guess she could be both at the same time, right?
Cloners!
200,000 babies are ready, and a million more well on the way.
From a certain point of view, we're all cloners.
Yeah, so our baby arrived. Everyone's happy and healthy, and it's been a hectic last 2 weeks, but very fun. I think I enjoy being a dad very much. I wasn't sure, but I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's COVID babies are popping out everywhere. A coworker, they just had their baby like two or 3 days ago. So,
Yeah.
shit's happening. So,
Yeah, and the hospital was jam packed. They were like at capacity. There's like so many babies getting delivered.
well, plus we're back in purple status for the COVID. So,
Oh boy.
so that's how I feel about that.
Ah. Well, that's a good welcome into the world. Just Uncle Mopar just burping in your face.
Uncle Mopar. So, yeah, man. So, yeah,
She's here.
things are changing as they
Yep.
always do.
And now we're back. There's not much new else in my world other than little Gia. I've been rewatching a lot of the Marvel movies. I say I'm rewatching them with her. She's sleeping the most of the time, but
That's what your wife does too, though.
true, she does. She actually says, she always says, I loved WandaVision. I want to go back and watch these with you and pay attention. And I'm like, okay, great. And then she'll start doing chores, and then she'll fall asleep. And then she'll wake up at the end, and she's like, shoot, what happened? And I recap the movie, and that's how every movie goes. I just give her the Cliff's Notes.
I wouldn't.
Turn the
I wouldn't
credits.
be able to handle that. You're like, you're here to watch this.
Yeah.
Do it or don't.
Hey, well, it is what it is.
Synopsis.
But yeah, so Gia's my excuse. I've been introducing her to Star Wars and Marvel. But that's been fun.
Oh yeah.
Superheroes on the brain.
Not much here. I rolled the dice and bought a few older games that I know everybody has raved about. The Borderlands series.
Ooh,
It was like 80% off, so I dove into that.
interesting.
I
There's 3
did-
of those, isn't there?
Yeah. It's like comic booky fun. Like the art style is comic booky, but yeah, it's fun. It's pretty straightforward. I literally have only spent maybe an hour and a half in the first one, so I'm just dipping my toes. But yeah, it seems fun.
Cool.
And then the other series that I completely bought was the Arkham series, which
Yes.
I've played through the first one for sure, and I think I halfway through the second one.
Okay.
But I never owned it. I think I played it on Game Pass, and it was discounted, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'll just buy it." So I own it. So
Nice.
I bought them all, but
Cool.
that's about as far as I went in the gaming realm. You know what I did notice is Squadrons has
It's on Game Pass, right?
horrific ratings.
Really?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not happy per se, but I'm not mad at it. It's like, I was kind of hoping for more. I was kind of hoping for something different, but okay, it's-
half a game.
it is. Well, we only paid half a price, so.
Or if you're on Game Pass, you didn't pay any price.
True. So, but that was something I noticed while I was going through all the sales and specials and shit. I clicked on it just to see what people thought about it, and it was like not good. But
That's a
I
bummer.
thought it's whatever. It's a flying game. You shoot. That's all they, whatever.
I don't understand the urge to leave bad reviews on things.
Yeah,
I,
it is
I
a
guess
weird.
by association we give bad reviews on things every week. But to go in and actually write the review on the Xbox store, especially when Squadrons is like, this is just flying, and that, and it's half price, and we made that very clear. So if you don't like flying games, probably don't give it a bad review.
Yeah, I do think it's people are tainted along the same lines of what you're saying. Like they didn't want a flying game, but because it's Star Wars, they're gonna buy it and try it out, and then they're like, wait, it's a fucking flying game.
Right.
So I don't want this. A half star. I don't want this. So,
I saw Star Wars, I delivered my cash, and now I'm left with this. What the fuck?
yeah. No, and again, I'm not gonna sit here and say yay or nay on the game. You guys buy it if you want. I don't. It was fine for me. Whatever. Didn't blow my doors off, but whatever.
No, unfortunately, I haven't played it. I probably won't be playing anything for a bit here, but I especially haven't played Squadrons in a long time.
Yeah. And Brennan mentions there is a large learning curve, just
Yeah.
like games like Doom Eternal. No, I completely agree. That is the first thing I noticed. I started trying to fly around. I'm like, Jesus, I got to press something just to go. Like, what the fuck is this game?
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe on the surface.
That's the silliest controls critique ever. I have to press something just to go.
It's kind of true, though. Like, most flying games, you are already flying.
Yeah.
You're already
no,
going.
I know what you mean. It's just silly. It's like,
Yeah.
God, I have to look around? What the hell?
Holy shit, I gotta play. Aw.
Pushing buttons, what?
But there is a large learning curve to really capture the essence of that game, and it's hard. You know, even if you do like understand the mechanics of it, it's still hard because there's people out there that just have that shit aced. Which, you know, we've discussed. It gives you appreciation for those people in the pilots in actual Star Wars, like Han.
Oh yeah,
fuck, he flies shit around, and Poe and Kylo. So
it's like playing Forza with manual transmission and traction control turned off.
Yeah,
that's what it's like. And then you also have to shoot things, so it's harder than that actually.
Yeah, it's much more difficult because you got shields and shit. You gotta. It's all fucked, dude. There's so much to pay attention to.
This is way too niche of a request, but it'd be interesting if they remade the Episode 1 Pod Racer game with more detailed controls.
I was just
like
thinking
Forza style. Because I was replaying the remaster for Switch, and it's so fun, but it is just like the original. You just go, and you turn, and you flip your pod vertical and horizontal. That's really the only controls.
Yeah. You just don't die is the point of the game. Just fly through this map and don't die. Don't fall off the edge.
Which some of those courses, they make it impossible to not die.
Yeah. So.
You come across the 90-degree turn, and then there's just a piece of rock there that you just crash into.
Go.
It's really hard. The later rounds are really hard.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah, you know, I was never balls deep into Pod Racer.
Well, you never had N64, maybe that's why.
That's true, and that's probably 99% of it. But I think the essence of Pod Racer is better than the actual game. Like the idea of racing game in Star Wars. But, you know, and for the times, it was a cool game. You get to upgrade your shit. There's a bunch of pod racers, pilots that, you know, you may have seen or not even known, or, you know. So it was fun in that sense. But, like, the actual gameplay, you're like, ugh, like, okay, just... Yeah, like you said, go, boost, and like 90-degree spin.
Well, yeah, looking back on it, that's how the gameplay is. But when you're 11, you're like, I don't care. I'm Anakin Skywalker. Let's do this. I don't care if there's only 2 buttons. It's fine.
True.
That's the crazy thing about nostalgia, and also about like franchises that you love, is like, I'll gladly pay $15 for the remaster on Switch, fire it up, race 2 courses. Just for the feeling, like it's worth it just to feel like, oh yeah, it's 1999. I'm on my N64. I'm flying Anakin's Pod Racer,
drinking some Surge. I just got off my Game Boy.
Yeah, exactly. Just for the feeling, even if I don't beat the game, I only play it for like an hour, it's worth it.
Yeah, man. Nostalgia. We constantly talk about it. It's a powerful force.
Nostalgia factor.
Speaking of nostalgia, I know I said I was going to bring up Rush Hour. So I've been on this binge of watching like those 90s classic movies, those classic comedies.
Was Rush Hour 90s?
Oh, yeah.
That's a dumb question. Why did I say that? Why did I think it was like 2001 for some reason?
No.
Ignore
what was
me.
it, like 97?
I'm about to tell you in a second. 98.
98.
And Rush Hour 2 is 2001, so that's what I was thinking of.
But still, you know, it's not 90s. It's just nostalgia, man.
Yeah.
But that is one of those films that fucking holds up. Dude. I don't care. Nostalgia aside, all of it, the film's fucking funny.
It's amazing. It's incredible. Great film, still holds up, like you said, and also one of those rare occurrences where the sequel is actually good.
Yeah, it is very good, yeah.
There's so many movies where the sequel is just trash compared to the original one.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like those movies and, you know, the Men in Blacks and, you know, pretty much anything that Robin Williams did in the 90s. And they're not quite as hilarious per se. Some of them are actually pretty heart-wrenching. Like that movie Jack, where he's like a fast-growing boy.
I never saw that. I know what the movie is. I have never seen it.
Pretty sad movie. It's funny, but it's got a very sad undertone, obviously. So, spoiler: he dies in the fucking end.
God damn it!
Oh man, yeah.
I'm gonna cut that clip. Spoiler: he dies.
He dies at the end of the film.
Someone dies in every good movie, isn't that true?
Yeah. Who dies in episode 5?
A bunch of the admirals.
Yeah.
I was sad. I mean, Ozzel got choked. That was
Ozzel.
heartbreaking.
Ozzel's probably the number one character that died in episode 5.
I want an Admiral Ozzel playing card.
Number Ozzel.
So speaking of movies and speaking of Star Wars and speaking of my daughter, so I've watched episode 4 and 5 so far.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remembered I was on a total Marvel train, so we started watching the MCU. But so she's seen 2/3 of the original trilogy, which is pretty good for being only, 11 days old. She's on good track.
Oh, yeah.
My mom knitted her a Yoda mesh hat. It's a little too big, but I'm thinking by the time Halloween rolls around, she can be Baby Yoda for Halloween.
There you go.
So that should work out. So yeah, she's in the Star Wars universe now.
It's official. What was so episode 5 was the last Star Wars film you watched?
Yeah, I rewatched 4 and 5 recently.
Nice.
It's good, man. It's good. Good feels. Even though some of it's goofy, it's good feels.
You know what I ended up doing? And this is going to ruin everything. I'll hold it off.
Let's ruin the entire show and all of the franchises.
All in one sentence. No, I'll just jump into the question I posed to you before we started recording.
Yes.
Because of everything that's happened, especially Marvel, but DC as well, we've gone through like a whole new era, and it's still going on. But you look back and we look at nostalgia, and then the whole MCU and the DCU. What's happened over the past decade or so is ridiculous. So I think the last time I posed this question was like in episode 8 of the show. We had Andy Manhattan on. But I figured I'd revisit our top 5 superheroes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, and I think when I first brought that around with Andy Manhattan, we were building teams to go like versus. But this will be just top 5. What are your favorites? Has it changed? Do you still have the remaining top 5, or has the MCU changed your ideas or whatever? So
Yeah.
we can go back and forth, or do you want to just power through mine and you can think about it?
Yeah, let's go back and forth. And are we thinking Marvel and DC? Are we including like Watchmen and all those other offshoots and everything?
I mean, I guess you could include whatever you want.
Okay.
But yeah, Marvel, DC obviously is going to be probably 90% of it, right? If not all of it.
90%. Yeah.
So, I mean, I'll throw my first one out there. It's going to be really obvious. Batman.
Yeah.
It's hard to get away from him. And honestly, the DCU, if there's a lot of gripes with a lot of the movies, but Batman, they've absolutely done perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly how I wanted Batman to feel and look and interact with all the other fucks. I love it. So
Yes. I was thinking, obviously Batman's like, I have to throw him in there. He's been one of my favorites since I was like 4. But I was thinking to myself, and I was like, did I like Batman more when I was a kid versus I do now? Like, I feel like I didn't know enough about superheroes that Batman was such a big focus. And now when I got, 40 movies and like 100 heroes to look at, is he still making the top 5?
it's a valid question. Actually, it's not. He's still in the top 5.
Fuck that question. Batman number 1.
No, I guess
guaranteed.
the point that you made was a valid point. Like, did you like him more as a kid, or do you like him more now?
Yeah.
I don't think it's a an accurate question, because back then we only knew like 10 superheroes all together, and Batman he was super relevant because of the 90s Batman films.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you want to really take a look at it, I would assume we like Batman more now because The Dark Knight has come out, Batman vs Superman has come out, and you go down this rabbit hole of the Arkham games. Like, Batman has only gotten better in the past 20 years.
Yep.
Now I know that the horrible films that came out in the 90s sparked our interest, but it is hard to go back and watch those, as we know in the commentaries. Jesus.
Oh, too well do we know that. Yeah. All right, fine. I'm always curious on our lists how much we're going to have the same answers. So, yes, I will throw that one. I will say yes, Batman definitely has to be up there. And before we continue, we're talking superheroes, villains as well, or just heroes?
I would just say heroes.
Okay, that helps me narrow it down. Because sometimes a lot of my favorites ended up being the bad guys, so gotta be careful with that.
True.
Or people like, Loki's not on my list, but people like Loki who go back and forth between good and bad.
Yeah. I think the next one might be on both of our lists too. It's pretty obvious. Spider-Man has always been one of my tops. And again, Spider-Man was one of my tops as a kid, and it's only gotten better. I mean, we have the Tobey Maguire films, which at the time were fine. But I think that's where it kind of started, and then it went uphill from there, and we finally have peak Spider-Man right now. So,
I am a huge fan of Tom Holland, and I love his movies, and I love him as Spider-Man. I don't actually think I would put him in my top 5, though.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
For my second, which I'm anticipating is probably going to be on your list as well, is Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Didn't know anything about him until that movie came out, and since then I've just been like it's been military and alien stuff in the MCU for so long, and then you throw in magic, which that's the kind of the first movie in the MCU that had that element to it. So I was hooked right away. So yeah, Doctor Strange for sure. For sure.
So this was going to be the spoiler. I was going to comment on a movie that I recently watched.
How is there a spoiler?
Well, I didn't want to bring up the movie because then you would know who was on my list. I watched the first X-Men movie. I got
the 99 or the 2001 one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I went pre-MCU, and spoiler goddamn alert.
Okay.
I fucking loved it.
Yeah. It's good, man.
I loved it. And X-Men altogether, if I could choose just X-Men as one superhero, I'd put those fuckers, all of them. I think...
If only you could.
I know it's all a part of the MCU, but I do really, really feel like the X-Men universe is aside from everything else. I think they have their own storyline. They have their own issues. They're more integrated into everyday life with humans.
Yep.
And it's. I always loved them. So Wolverine. Long story short, Wolverine has always been one of my tops. I love the movie Logan. I love Wolverine in all the X-Men movies. I don't even need to like the fucking movie, but if Wolverine's in it, I'm most likely going to watch it. Now, I will admit, there's at least one Wolverine movie that I haven't seen that everybody has shit on. So that might change my mind a little bit, but
weren't there like 2 of those? Like
yeah,
Wolverine
there might be.
Origins or whatever?
Yeah, one of them's like he's swinging swords in the Civil War or some shit. You're like, whatever.
And whatever I never saw these, but like whatever the first one was where Deadpool showed up and everyone absolutely hated it.
Yeah, I think I did watch that one once. But I wouldn't say that hurt the character of Wolverine. It was just a bad movie. Well, he didn't have that like skeleton. Because that's where, what I'm talking about, instead of having the adamantium skeleton.
It is a skeleton, though.
He is an actual skeleton with the claws. Like, his skeleton has the claws. You don't remember that? Like, bones came out.
Oh, no, I don't remember that.
Yeah.
So I definitely didn't see it then.
Yeah, I think that's one that you can easily forget or just not watch. But, yeah, Wolverine's cool, man. He's like the key to the X-Men. Everybody dies, and guess who the fuck's still around? Logan.
For, years and years and years.
I mean, he's hundreds of years old, they're suggesting. He's been through the Civil War. He was like middle age in the Civil War.
Civil War? How far back did that shit go?
That's what I'm saying.
I definitely never saw those because I have no recollection of anything like.
Yeah, because he's in World War II.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's in all of it. He goes because they talk about that in the first X-Men, how his aging process is like super slow because of his regenerative powers.
Yeah.
So
I guess that makes sense.
And it's easy to throw Wolverine out there because Logan's one of my favorite films altogether. I just love the movie. So, all right.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't seen Logan in a while. That's a good one though. I'm trying to rack my brain for X-Men. Wolverine's obviously cool, but I'm trying to think of the X-Men that I always loved. And, like, who I
Magneto's
would
always
throw in
fucking
there.
sweet. Magneto. I always like Magneto because even though he's a bad guy, he's not just killing people to kill people. Like, he has a valid reason. Humans are scared of mutants, so he's like, well,
Yeah.
we're just humans 2.0. We're the next generation. Like, why should we be scared?
Yeah.
They're the ones that are weak and, can't do shit.
Yeah.
It's a cool thing.
Yeah, I think when I was younger, my the reason I liked characters was mostly because whatever powers they had.
True.
And now that I've seen the MCU multiple times and I'm getting older, I think it's more about the character story and their journey. I'm trying to think about that more.
Yeah.
So I think once upon a time I probably would have said like Pyro, just because the fact that he turns into flame is fucking cool.
Yeah.
But obviously there's nothing there about the character for me to actually like. Third on my list, I have Vision.
Okay.
And I remember it's very similar to Doctor Strange, but like as soon as I saw Ultron, I was just in love with Vision. And the fact that you start with him in Iron Man as Jarvis when he's Tony's AI, you hear him basically throughout the first half, phase 1, phase 2, and then he becomes what Ultron was supposed to be in Vision. I thought that was fucking awesome. And now obviously we have WandaVision, and I hope he comes back. I hope he's not fully dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
A vibranium android powered by an Infinity Stone. That's just fucking awesome.
No, that's good.
That's good. That's good, man.
Now this entry, this suggestion, this number 4 on my list, would not have been there prior to the MCU.
Okay.
But I think again, man, I'm just hitting it out of the park. I'm just killing this list. No, this one's easy, man. Iron Man. Iron Man is on my list. I love Tony Stark. I love Iron Man. I love that whole Batman effect. He doesn't have superheroes. He's a dude with some money and all this shit. So, Iron Man, and he's obviously the culmination of Infinity War or Endgame. Like it's fucking savage. That's one of the biggest reasons. Endgame is so good. It's because it ends with Tony. Man.
Yeah.
Also, I watched Infinity War the other day, and when the Guardians of the Galaxy people and Tony and Spider-Man are on Thanos' homeworld, and they're fighting, and Thanos grabs Tony and says basically like, I respect you. I hope people don't forget about you and all this shit. I was like, dude, he's just a guy.
I know.
Like the conqueror of universes is like, Tony, hey, high five, bro.
Yeah. You got my respect.
It literally it gave me like goosebumps. I was like, God
dude,
damn.
I know.
Like humans hear me roar, like, he represents me. Like he's getting respect from the demon.
Yeah, man. That journey. It's top of mind for me. And again, we're sharing a selection here, but especially because I recently watched Infinity War and Endgame, and now I've restarted all the way back with Iron Man. The journey that he's gone on through 20 movies is it's incredible. Just to see where he starts, see how his technology grows, see how him and Pepper's relationship, all of his suits. I never gave a single shit about Iron Man before.
No, I agree. Other than the Black Sabbath song, like I literally knew almost nothing about Iron Man, and in fact, the Iron Man suits that I had seen looked dumb as hell. Yeah, like they looked like the prototype that they put in the first Iron Man. Yeah, just clunky, can't do anything. You can barely fly. He just like levitates like 10 feet.
Right.
What are you doing, dude? So.
Yeah. He has growth as a person, obviously. He also has growth as like he ends up. I guess I was going to say Cap is kind of the leader of the Avengers, but Iron Man's kind of like leading and financing the Avengers for a while. He has the whole facility, all the technology. He's kind of leading things there for a little bit until Civil War, I guess. And he has the technology side of things that is actually able to stand up against like magic and aliens. Mm-hmm. That's why it's so interesting. Like obviously his suit is fucking badass, but when you have people from other dimensions coming into Earth and fucking around, the fact that his weapons and his technology and the suit can stand up against that is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I say Iron Man as well.
Oh, Jesus, Iron. All right,
I like how our two similar ones are they're very similar characters.
They're the humans.
They're the rich technology guys.
Philanthropists.
Genius.
So
Playboy,
I'm gonna
billionaire,
give some
philanthropist.
shout outs that I want to put on my list, but because there's only 5, you gotta leave them out.
Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. There's gonna be quite a few of them because, dude, they've been killing the superhero game. It's been so cool.
Yeah, there's too many characters to choose from, you know?
Like Aquaman, I love him. I think they cast him perfectly. The Aquaman movie's mediocre. I mean, it's high and low. I'd like to actually watch it again all the way through. If only I can get through that Sicily scene, I'll be
Just skip it, man. Skip it.
Wonder Woman, I really do want to put her on here, but and they've done nothing but good things with her too. I don't know. Wonder Woman, and then
Wonder Woman's good.
you know, for how much I hate Cap, I have come around a lot on Cap.
Yep.
Yeah,
he's on my honorable mentions list too. Because at first I was like, oh, he's like the good guy. He always is good no matter what. He has no character flaws, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, seeing his growth through everything is good.
Yeah. No, and then it's the back and forth relationship between Iron Man, who's on our list, and Cap. Like that builds Iron Man up too, you know, and their disagreements and all that. It's great.
Yeah.
God.
To your note, though, like Wonder Woman, I want to put her on the list because she's a cool character and Gal Gadot is amazing, but I haven't seen a lot of character growth from her. You know what I mean?
Well, she's thousands of years old. Her growth is that's before humans, bro.
Every guy's a younger guy, but like you know, she's had to deal with the heartbreak thing with Steve.
Yeah,
and then when she revives him in Wonder Woman 84 somehow. But that's it, you know. I'm weary about putting any of like these god characters on the list because, you know, they come in and they're awesome and then that's it.
Yeah. No, I agree. Well, the exception I think to that rule, who also is an honorable mention, is Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Because Asgard it's dead. It gets destroyed, and his brother's a dickhead who helps you but also fucks you over sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude.
Thor,
rough go of it.
Thor and Cap are both ones that I like hated at the beginning, and after a couple watches through the MCU, I'm digging. Not on my list, but definitely honorable mentions. Yeah.
Now I'm gonna throw a wild card out here, and this is gonna be my number 5.
Okay.
And not that I am like balls deep into this character, but the Flash, man. I really, really, really like the Flash.
Okay.
Like a fuck ton. And I think the Snyder Cut kind of solidified it for me that he plays that big of a role. Like you have gods on your team, but no one can do what you can do.
Yeah.
The Flash like saves the fucking day. Everybody died, but the Flash saved everyone. You know, on the surface, it's like, oh, you can run fast. Like what? You can run fast.
Yeah, real fast.
Real fast.
Real
I don't
quick.
run fast. I run real fast.
Real fast.
Through
time. Runs through time.
It's almost like he's the innocent comedic Spider-Man of the DC.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know he's got some troubled past too, though. Like his dad's been gone. No, his mom, his dad's been gone.
His mom's gone. His dad's in jail. And I don't know how much of the Snyder Cut storyline is synonymous with the comic storyline, but
that's right.
There was
There
was some throwaway line about his dad got framed for his mom's death.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he wants to like become a lawyer, criminal school, law school, something like that.
Criminal school. This is where you go. Joker's teaching a class.
Is this for fighting criminals or becoming criminals?
Arson 101. All right. Motives. Step 1. Yeah, I think the Flash. I just like him.
That's a good pick.
I think they cast him well. I'm really happy with pretty much all the casting across all. Like, I don't think there's a cast there's a casting that I don't like across MCU and DC.
Yeah. I
If
would
I had to-
I would agree with that.
Yeah, there's the one that always bothered me, and it has nothing to do with the actual guy.
Don't say
Or-
Ant-Man. Don't say Ant-Man.
It's Ant-Man.
What? No. No. The casting for the original Ant-Man and for Paul Rudd as Scott, whatever his name is. I thought it was perfect.
It's probably more on me. I can't connect Paul Rudd into a superhero.
That's why it's
I
so
don't
perfect.
know. He's so dumb. Love him. I love him, but he just doesn't fit in my head as a superhero.
All right.
But I mean, outside of that, man, the other one. Well, I'm gonna assume you're number 5.
Okay. I want to see what you think. It's a curveball. I don't think you're going to guess it.
Really? Is
Yeah.
it way out there?
It's not way out there. Like it's
Oh,
still
okay.
it's in Marvel.
Okay.
So I was originally going to throw something from left field and put in V from V for Vendetta
Okay.
because I love that movie and I love that character. But I brought it back to just MC and DC.
All right.
So
The
take a
Hulk.
guess. No.
Damn it! Why?
He's on my honorable mention. So
Yeah.
Hulk and Groot I used to be obsessed with.
Groot.
And again, like I said earlier, it was more just because, Hulk is huge, he can't die, and he can do whatever he wants. He's ridiculous.
And he gets smart.
He does get smart, yeah. And similar thing with Groot. It was just like because he's a giant hulking character that, destroys things, and then he regrows from death. So, but again, there's nothing there. Well, there's some there, but I've done away with just being obsessed with their powers. So, number 5 on my list is actually Black Panther,
Okay.
and it's partly Black Panther, mostly Black Panther, but also just the whole Wakanda vibe and their technology. The tribal thing mixed with the high technology, vibranium, and they've made a little bit of an appearance in Falcon and Winter Soldier as well. So they're top of mind. So, yeah, Black Panther.
I like it.
The kingly heritage, all of it.
Man, there's a lot of honorable. I actually really like Nebula. I like Rocket. Yeah. Gamora's cool. Actually, Gamora's really fucking cool.
Star-Lord was kind of cool.
I'm not a huge Chris Pratt fan. Not a huge Chris Pratt.
Jurassic World just ruined it for you, huh?
Oh, it was before that, man. He's fine. He's fine. That might be another one of the castings that's like,
It's probably similar to
Yeah.
Paul Rudd for you then.
I get it. It's something about like really funny guys doing, like I do like the character of Star-Lord. I like how like snarky and condescending he is to a lot of people. But it's like the Ryan Reynolds for Deadpool. Like I love Deadpool, but I've had so much of Ryan Reynolds being the same character in all movies that like he doesn't necessarily add anything for me to Deadpool.
I almost put that on my list, actually.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's a good character, and I think Ryan Reynolds fits Deadpool, but I think I have just seen too much Ryan Reynolds, and I think he's saying the same jokes just with a different goddamn suit on. It's the same stuff.
Once in a while, the stars align and there's a casting choice which just fits too well. And Ryan Reynolds basically is Deadpool.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. That's all
Yeah.
it is.
I mean, it's almost like they changed Deadpool to make it Ryan Reynolds instead of the other way around.
Well, sometimes I feel like that might happen, or like a fan casting request is so spot on that it makes too much sense. Like Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. Like it makes too much sense. You just have to do it. I feel like Ryan Reynolds is kind of like that too. And
Yeah.
almost Star-Lord. I don't know too much about Star-Lord from the comics, but I feel like that was a very similar choice.
What is Star-Lord's first name? Peter Quill.
Peter Quill, yes. I'm excited to get to those. They should be coming up on the MCU list soon. All MCU movies. So I'm up to Winter Soldier at the moment.
Ooh.
And there's, I guess maybe not an honorable mention per se, but I never really liked the Winter Soldier.
My least favorite character out of everything.
I really hated him. I was like, I don't care about Captain's best friend. Like, whatever.
Oh my! I like John C. Reilly in Guardians of the Galaxy better than the Winter Soldier.
I guess as I'm warming up to Cap, maybe I'm warming up to Bucky a little bit. But he's just been shit on.
Oh yeah.
Over and over again for like 80 years. And it's probably that, and also, I'm watching Falcon Winter Soldier, which you definitely need to catch up on. So he's not like my favorite by any means, but I'm definitely warming up to him for sure.
Coming around.
Absolutely. Guardians is actually next on the list. Very convenient.
Witch Hunter says the Bat, Soups, Aquaman, Thor, and Shazam.
Yeah.
Man, it's hard, man. There's so many many superheroes nowadays. Shazam's cool. I really like Shazam. It's a unique he's a unique superhero.
Mm-hmm.
And he's one of those that I think lives alone. Well, obviously he has his own movie, but they have their own movie. I don't even know how you say that, but yeah. And then he says honorable mentions Ant-Man and Captain Marvel. I would not put Captain Marvel on anything on my.
See, I really like her character, and I really like the casting. I just don't think the movie was quite as good as it could have been.
I just, like you said with Wonder Woman, it's like, yeah, I love the action. If the casting's good, the movie, I didn't even think the movie was that bad, but like, where's the character growth?
Well,
comes in, gets the shit, and then she's Superman in MCU, and she does whatever the fuck she wants. And I'm like, well, what can't she do? Is my question. Which is, I guess, my question for Wonder Woman too. Wonder Woman does some crazy shit, and I'm like, okay, this punch hurt her, but she got shot in the face earlier, and that didn't phase her.
Right. Like
the same thing with Soups. Like
sometimes a punch will put him on the ground for a second, and sometimes he's like a steel jaw.
Yeah, and it's just like, how sunny is it out? Like that's what changes. Like partly cloudy. I might lose this one today. So
don't fight Superman in Los Angeles.
Yeah, exactly.
Or Arizona.
You have a great opportunity to take him out in Cleveland, though.
Yeah, exactly. Bring Superman to Ohio. Lex Luthor. That's your next DV's
Gotham.
plan.
That's Superman's weakness is Batman's home.
How is it right across the bay? Gotham is so much darker than Metropolis. Aren't they like sister cities?
I think it's because of the industry. I'm assuming because Gotham was so.
Good job, Wayne Enterprises.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck Soups.
I do not like Superman, no.
I still don't like Superman. I've come around to a lot of people, but Superman, I just...
Yeah.
I take that back a little bit.
I like the movies, but I still have not warmed up to the character.
Yeah. I like Superman because of Lex Luthor. Let's say that.
That's why I was wondering if we were going to put villains on the list, because a lot of what I liked about BVS and stuff is definitely like villain-centric.
Well, do you want to do like top 3 villains? That's fucking hard though. We could easily do top 5.
Maybe next week.
No, let's do it right now. So Joker,
Arthur Fleck, Joker, and Joker.
All right. At least we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
don't know if I would put Lex Luthor in that list, because I'm not big on Superman, and I like Lex Luthor in BVS. Like, that's the only Lex Luthor that I really am into. So
yeah.
Can I really warrant putting him on the list? I don't know.
You know who I randomly like is the bad guy in Wonder Woman's stepbrother, the god that tries to kill her in Wonder Woman.
Ares?
Is it Ares?
I can't remember, man. The whole gods thing is...
I hated that.
It can be weird.
I hated that casting. That's one that I fucking hate.
Yeah, wasn't it like James Bond or something?
It was
Commissioner
Commissioner Gordon, wasn't it?
And then J. Jonah Jameson is Commissioner Gordon now.
Yeah, that casting I did not like.
Hang on, let me look it up. Wonder Woman.
Ares, yeah, it's Ares.
What?
Wait, wasn't Ares the one that stabbed or hit Darkseid with his axe? during the Ancient Wars in the Snyder Cut?
Hang on a second. I don't know. How am I supposed to know?
Because Ares, yeah, because it was Zeus, Ares, and Wonder Woman were fucking dark side up on Earth. I think Ares was the one that almost chopped his fucking arm off or something.
Interesting.
Neck off.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I really don't
I agree. Once
know.
gods are thrown in there, you're like, well, is this real life gods or regular gods or normal gods or the flying gods or the gods that can't die?
The first the first Thor movie is not the best,
No.
but I do like how they separated the gods. Like, this is a different dimension.
Yeah.
Not even a different dimension. This is a different area of the galaxy. They're kind of gods because they seem like gods to people on Earth. That's what the legends are about. But they're just a kind of a different race. They're aliens. They're a little stronger. They have these powers, whatever. Magic and science is kind of the same thing for them. So to regular people on Earth, they seem like gods, and they have that like mythology wrapped around it to explain it. But yeah, it is Ares. I just found it. Sorry, Ares, Sir Patrick. Oh, it's Lupin from Harry Potter. That's who plays it. That's who plays Ares.
Can't do it.
Which, while he's just like a English politician, I guess is okay. But then he morphs into fucking Ares with the horns and everything.
Yeah.
Whatever, dude.
All right. So Joker is all five. Yep.
Yeah,
Jack Nicholson.
that's the only.
Jack Nicholson, Joker.
Yep.
Ben Affleck, Joker.
Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, Joaquin Phoenix, Mark Hamill, and what's his face?
Yeah.
The new guy.
New guy.
What's his name? I can't remember. Jared Leto.
Jared Leto. There's a top five right there.
There's your 5 jokes.
That'll be the good one.
It'll be what?
Rank your Jokers. This is hard. Actually, it's not.
It kind of is. I was like many people.
Leto's at the bottom.
You leave.
Leto's at the bottom.
Yes. Well, you leave Dark Knight and you're like, there can never be a better Joker than that. And with that in mind, Joaquin Phoenix still killing it in that movie. It makes it hard to say which one of those you like. You know, it's a tough decision.
Yeah.
And also, we haven't seen, like, that was the Joker origin story. We haven't seen Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, like, as a villain yet. You know what I mean? We haven't seen him stealing shit and setting up schemes and fucking with Batman. We haven't really seen that yet.
Which is the whole point. Yeah. Yeah. So I have, starting at 5 and working my way till number 1, Leto's last.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. It's not even his fault. We just haven't seen his Joker be Joker. Like, the whole purpose of Joker is to fuck with Batman, and we don't even see that. So
Yeah.
I have Jack at my number 4 because it's just aged. Whatever.
Yep.
Mark Hamill at 3. And then why did my mind go blank?
Joaquin
Dark Knight.
Phoenix.
Dark Knight.
Oh, Heath Ledger.
I have Heath as my number 2.
Interesting. You thinking movie or actor or character, or a kind of combination of all three? Also,
Yeah,
I love how you're taking notes, writing all this down.
Well,
There will be an exam.
What day's the exam?
Next patron, if you want to sign up, you have to we have to remember what's our top 5 heroes.
I mean, it's a valid question to ask. Like, what am I basing this off of?
And you don't have to define it. I was just curious.
You know, and it might be just I'm a victim of the times here because Joaquin was the most recent. But yeah, I guess Heath. Man, you know what I wish? I wish Heath Ledger's Joker fucked with Ben Affleck's Batman. I think that would have been like it. That would have been one of the greatest movies of all fucking time.
Yeah, man.
Like, not even close. I do feel like The Dark Knight is regarded as a great film, but I think I've heard more people like The Rise of Batman, the third one with Bane.
Oh, Dark Knight Rises, yeah.
Dark Knight Rises, thank you.
The Rise of Batman.
Whatever the fuck it's called. I've heard people say that that's their favorite one, and I'm like, how?
What? No.
And they're like, yes, of course, Joker is my favorite person, but they didn't like the storyline of the second one, and I was like, wow.
Oh, it was great.
The
third one was confusing with Bane and everything.
What would you put as 1 and 2?
I have basically your exact list, but I would flip Joaquin and Heath Ledger. I would put Heath
So you
Ledger
have Heath as
first.
the number
Yeah.
one Joker.
Which is not to say the new Joker is
No.
not great. I mean, it's fucking amazing. But again, Heath Ledger's Joker in The Dark Knight, he's setting up plots. He's taking over the fucking mob. He's fucking with Batman the whole time, robbing the banks. He's
just making a fool of everybody. It's
yeah. It's amazing. And he
Yeah,
didn't even... Oh, man. God damn, a fucking sequel to that would have been incredible.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. I still stand by that. If we had Heath Ledger and Batfleck, I think
Yeah.
that would have been fucking prime time, man.
Yeah, dude.
Joaquin, I'm just gonna put him as 1A and 1B. Like it's
So you only have 4 then, so what's number 5?
oh
Some other voice actor that wasn't Mark Hamill that did the cartoon Joker.
we got Caesar Romano. We'll put him at 5.
Yeah. Yep.
He's just a laughing cokehead.
I'm actually going to say number 5 for me would be the Joker from Scooby-Doo Meets Batman.
Ooh, I like it. And the Joker. He just like who are you, Dr. Robotnik?
Speaking of, there's another movie I haven't fucking seen.
Thank God.
Cameron Smith says Hawkeye, Bucky Barnes, Iron Man, The Punisher, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yeah, I mean, do you consider Obi-Wan a superhero?
He's definitely super, and he's really my hero.
I'm sold. Yep, that makes sense to me. All right.
I want to put Ben Kenobi as an honorable mention. It's funny that you do say The Punisher because as I rewatch some of these MCU movies, I really, really want them to bring in some of the Netflix Marvel stuff that they did. I think The Punisher coming into play with Falcon and Winter Soldier would be fucking awesome. I know everyone loves Daredevil. And I know Iron Fist and Jessica Jones, story-wise, were a little weak, but the characters, I think, are great. The casting is great. I would love to see some crossover there. But I remember just being really enthralled with the Punisher series.
See, before you even start with that, I want to see X-Men. I want to see the X-Men in there first.
True.
But no, I think...
they will eventually.
Iron Man, The Punisher is probably one of my least favorite.
Oh.
Yeah, I just don't like The Punisher.
He just murders everyone. How fucking cool is that?
Yeah, he does.
He's like a villain good guy.
Kinda. I don't know. He doesn't do it for me. I don't know.
You know what other kind of lesser... I shouldn't even say lesser known, but whatever.
Less
I don't know how
popular.
to describe it. Another random one that I'm excited for coming up is the reboot of Blade. That's going to be fucking awesome.
Didn't even know they were doing that.
Yep.
Well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four. And then X-Men will be back. They'll loop them in. They're gonna ease them in.
Fantastic Four. We always bring that up, and I always just like I black out for about 10 seconds.
I really don't care about Mr. Fantastic, but I just love the group element.
Yep.
And I love Human Torch, and I'm excited for them to fucking do it properly for once.
It's like the Wonder Twins. Remember the guy turns into a bucket of water, and she can turn into any beast ever.
A bucket of water. Is that true?
I think that's what the Wonder Twins. The sister can turn into any animal, which is super helpful, and he can just turn into anything that's a water form. So he can turn into like a wave. Or
That's just so. It's Aquaman basically.
Glass
It's just
of
a
water.
random pairing.
Yeah.
Were they like Marvel heroes? Or is it like its own random like underdog style.
No, I want to say they were in the Justice League. They were DC.
Interesting. Wonder Twin. I remember the rings and everything. They put them together. Yeah.
You got to activate them. Wonder Twin powers. Activate.
Really sucks if...
Hanna-Barbera.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, underdog. Same fucking universe. Where's our Hanna-Barbera MCU? That's what I want to know. Disney, that's your next purchase.
They're in the they're in the DC database. Wonder Twin powers.
Maybe because all the DC animated stuff was Hanna-Barbera, wasn't it? Or is Hanna-Barbera also Warner Brothers, something like that? I
don't know.
Where's our Animaniacs crossover with the DC universe? Just get all the Warner Brothers properties in there. Where's LeBron Space Jam 2? Where's that DC crossover?
Yeah.
Looney Tunes meets Batman.
It's Zan and Jaina are the Wonder Twins. Zan can transform into any form of water, and Jaina can transform into any animal.
Interesting. Well, as long as they don't get caught when they're separate from each other, then they won't be able to transform.
Yeah, it's true.
That would suck.
Is the power in the rings, not in themselves? They can't just do whatever the fuck they want?
Yeah. Well, why would they have to activate them if they had the power all the time?
Yeah. Super Friends were great, except for Gleek. I'm blanking on Gleek. Was that the big blob, dude?
The Super Friends, I don't even know what that is.
Gleek DC.
Is that just like Vanilla Justice League?
Vanilla Justice League.
Also, Cameron Smith, I'm surprised you said Hawkeye. I guess I'm
Gotcha.
I'm just curious what Hawkeye is, what he gets into outside of what we've seen so far. Because I don't hate him. I'm rewatching MCU. He's in the Avengers. I don't hate him.
Well, you know what I do like about Hawkeye is that he fucking goes off the rails and starts murdering people.
Love it.
That's so cool. After the blip.
Yep.
And that's so savage.
Yeah, I wonder what his series is going to be like.
Well, because that's right. He goes off the rails, kills everybody because his family died. His family blipped away.
Oh, yeah, all of them did. Yeah.
Fuck that.
He has nothing left, and then Black Widow has to come be like, oh, come help us. Cut your hair.
Black Widow's the one to do it for everybody. Hulk. Hawkeye.
Well, Winter Soldier, she's like one of the main characters. She's like getting Steve Rogers in line. It's amazing. Ronin. Yeah, that's his little alias when he's pissed at everybody. Black Widow honorable mention, too.
I hate her.
God!
I'm not
great
a Black
casting.
Widow fan.
Scarlett Johansson, super hot. Great character. Again, all the characters that don't have powers, I think, are fantastic. Yes, she shouldn't be face-to-face with Thanos. I agree with you there. But still, good character.
When I was watching Infinity War the other day or the other week or whatever, it gave me chills, when Iron Man got respect from Thanos. But I know you had mentioned it episodes and episodes ago about how Cap blocked like a hammer punch from Thanos. Yeah. And how you said it was like an epic moment. It never struck with me, and then I watched it the other day and I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Like, he straight up blocks and holds his fist, and Thanos is like, dude, how is this fucker doing this? Like, it's just like a half second of, you are definitely getting blipped here in about 30 seconds, you fuck. But he doesn't. Yeah.
He doesn't know. No, that's one of the great things about Cap is like, you don't really know what his superpower is. Like he's got the serum, he's super soldier, but like as the movies unfold, you don't know what he can really handle.
I don't think he does. I don't think he does.
Yeah, but his willingness to just go into the battle anyways and figure it out, it's like his power kind of adapts to like how brave he is. I know that sounds corny as fuck.
No, that's kind of how I've always read it. Like,
and he's worthy as fuck. He picks up the hammer.
Yeah. Yeah. You're about to make me like Cap a lot more.
I mean, by the time I finish this walkthrough or this watch through of MCU, I might put him on that list. I don't know.
Oh, he's not making my top 5.
I don't know. Top 10, maybe.
Oh, easily top like 30.
Easily top 1,000. if we had to go there.
Wonder Twins, then Cap.
Speaking of the hammer, just really Wonder Twins. Underdog.
Ooh.
The Penguin.
Dick Dastardly.
Dick Dastardly. With Muttley, they come as a pair.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's funny.
Hawkeye.
So are you going to catch up on Falcon and Winter Soldier or what?
I can't catch up if I haven't started, bro.
Well, it hasn't ended yet, so you still have like 4 or 5 days to catch up before the finale. It's good, man. It really is. It really is. I would recommend anyone that has watched the rest of the Marvel movies to also watch this.
What is your biggest letdown in the sequel trilogy?
You're evading the topic.
What was the question?
Watch the fucking show.
I don't. Okay,
It's
I
okay.
will
I
at some
know.
point.
It's okay.
What is your biggest letdown in the sequel trilogy? And it could be a character.
Rey parents.
Rey parents. Okay.
Not just her parents. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be Kenobi or Luke or something, but just the fuckery with her storyline is the biggest letdown. I guess if I bring that back one level, the real letdown is it wasn't planned well.
Yeah. The only I asked this because I literally just Googled Star Wars and the first picture that came up triggers my one big letdown that I think they fucked up a lot with is General Hux, man.
Yeah.
Man, did they fuck his character up. He went from Hitler to
I'm the spy.
I'm this man. You're like, dude, what the fuck happened? You were running this shit 25 minutes ago,
Yeah.
and now you're like, I don't like Kylo.
I think, yeah. Well, my lack of planning answer, it kind of covers a lot of items. Because the First Order is so interesting. At least it has the potential to be so interesting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, did they ever confirm that, like, the First Order is kind of like one of Palpatine's contingency orders? Like, that was
I
never
don't
hard
think
confirmed
so.
in the movies, right?
Yeah, I don't think it was ever officially.
But, like, if they had given a little bit of closure on Snoke and a little bit more of the behind-the-scenes planning, like the First Order is a contingency plan by Palpatine to keep the Empire going and behind the scenes. Like, just a little bit of that, even if it was in dialogue, could have made the First Order so much fucking cooler.
I like the idea. I mean, my assumption is that they just didn't want to call it the Remnant. So they gave it a new name. It's called the First Order now.
But is it actually the Remnant? Or is it... Because they almost kind of phrase it like it's something new, you know?
There's
like, yeah, they
just-
also have TIE fighters, but, like, there's no one from the Empire in the First Order at all.
On fandom.com, it's saying the First Order, also known simply as the Order,
That's not true.
was an autocratic military junta
The fuck
that
is
formed from the remnants of the Galactic Empire during the New Republic era, born in the unknown regions of the galaxy.
Right. Exegol shit.
Is that really where the First Order was?
Yeah. Because they kind of came out of nowhere with a full army, and everyone's like, what the hell is this? That's what I mean. They just left it so fucking vague. Even the whole thing of Starkiller Base is Ilum, the old Jedi planet with all the fucking crystals and everything. Like, it's like they didn't say it, but they kind of did. And then you get there in Fallen Order, and there's a whole crater across the center of the equator of the planet.
Yeah.
They just kind of... They left you the breadcrumbs, and they never made the bread.
Wait.
It didn't
Is
pay
the
off
Flash
like it
involved
could
here?
have. Yes.
Oh, do we go back in time? There's
Yes.
breadcrumbs, but
Flash.
they never made the bread.
Find Flash, take us back to 2013. Let's do this all over again.
Yeah, I guess it says the First Order was ruled by a supreme leader from their mobile headquarters. That's so weird. So, I mean, walking down this path, we're under the assumption that Clone Palpy created Snoke, gave him 40 Star Destroyers, and
Yep.
sent him back to fuck around.
Yeah. Keep fucking with these idiots until I'm ready. Until I become all the Sith and figure out where my daughter is.
Granddaughter.
Granddaughter, yeah, sorry. I wonder if they're going to explore that. Other than, like references. I wonder if they're going to, like, this is Palpatine's son who gave birth to Rey.
You know, that is another one of the cringy. Look, guys, I'm not gonna just sit here and shit on the sequels, but we pick shit apart because of the lack of planning.
Yeah.
Episode 9 and showing Palpy's son. it's kind of cringy, guys. You're like,
Again,
wait.
lack of planning covers all the things that you hated.
Interesting. Oh, there's a Phasma quote here. It says, quote, "The First Order is not the Empire. We are pure. We have been through the crucible and emerged stronger." Which is weird because isn't Phasma like almost like a gun for hire? And then she just kind of starts running shit? She's not like...
That's a
she's
good
not-
question. I wanted to start caring about her so many times. But then they just fucked her up in the movies. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to bother reading the book if she just dies twice.
She literally does one badass thing, and it's the smallest little turn and shoot towards... and then 10 seconds later, she dies, and you're like...
Best thing about Phasma is there's two good things. One is playing her in Battlefront 2. The second is just the blaster tinging off of her armor like it didn't affect her.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, that's the best part.
Man, she had so much potential. Like you said, I just wanted to love her. Like a chromed out stormtrooper.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, and she has a fucking spear, and she's good with it.
Yep.
And then she just gets in a fist fight with Finn and loses, and you're like, what happened? Like, I like Finn, but what?
Even if Finn had like gone the extra step and actually killed her,
Yeah.
that would have made it
Dude,
better. Instead of
made
just
it-
watching, because like she falls into the fire and we assume the ship blows up, she's probably dead. But because you didn't see her die in 7 and then they brought her back and then you're going to do that vague death again, that's not cool.
Dude, you're making me hate Disney right now because it's one of those loopholes that we're gonna kill her off, but no one's gonna kill her. You're like,
Yeah.
isn't that all part of character development? Like if Finn would have actually killed her, would he have felt better? Would he have had questions about what he did or any regrets? But instead,
Yeah.
punch, oh, you fell, so let's get out of here.
Yeah, it would have been, imagine in episode 9 where you see Finn having nightmares because he murdered Captain Phasma. Even though she's the bad guy and she fucked with him his whole training and he wanted to get revenge now that he's a rebel, like killing someone still doesn't feel good. He has PTSD from it. Hello, character development.
Yeah, the PTSD of murdering your old leader.
Warlord.
Warlord.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah. So let's just walk through and fix the sequel trilogy real quick.
Like I said, I mean, Disney, we'll give you 7. We'll give you episode 7 for free. Consider this part of our resume, and we're on call for the next trilogy that you guys
on
make.
call.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much good. And I guess if I was sitting here as picture Star Wars didn't exist, episode 4 comes out now, and we get the entire original trilogy for the first time, I would probably feel the same way. I would probably get to Return of the Jedi in the theaters, like, what the fuck? They're related now? And the Emperor just comes out of nowhere, and Darth Vader like this and that? Like, there would have been a million things, I'm sure.
Yeah, I try to keep things try to tie things together. Like how did the original trilogy end? How does that compare to the sequels? Because they are very closely related. And a lot of people were I forget where it was, but people were talking shit about the sequels. Oh, it was on our Instagram post.
Surprise, surprise.
And it was one of those things like, oh, they just fucked it up because, they just did episode 7 was a copy of episode 4, and I'm like, well, don't you like episode 4? Like in episode 6, they literally do Death Ball fucking again, and you like
Right.
episode 6?
Yep.
Like where does this end? Why do you hate the new ones and not the old ones where they're just copy and pasting?
It ends in 1983.
Everybody's related. Everybody on screen. And if they're not related, they fucking marry into the family. Han Solo is like, oh yeah, let me get a piece of this action.
And if they don't marry in, they just become a general out of nowhere.
Everybody's Lando's left out, so
You're either a husband or a general. Come on. Let's
Yeah.
go.
look, that's just the way of the road, bro. The way
12
she goes.
degrees of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Star
I do.
Wars is cool.
I haven't watched the sequels in a minute. I think I put on episode 9 maybe a few weeks ago, but I haven't like sat and watched. You know what happens when you watch episode 9? You don't get any Snoke. So,
Yeah.
that's probably one of the highlights of episode 8. And I don't mean the one and only. I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
you know, there's a lot of highs and lows in episode 8, but like Snoke putting people in their place, puts Hux in his place, puts Kylo in his place, and he's a fucking failed clone from a certain point of view.
And then Kylo putting him in his place.
Dude, my science project just beat the shit out of you. That's how
Yeah.
That's how Palpy's ruling this shit.
Yeah, man.
They got the chemicals wrong, and he's still fucking you up. Like, this is fucked.
Let me throw back Mando for a second. So the cloning and the blood and the projects and everything, now that we've seen all of Mando season 2, do you think that's Snoke stuff happening? Or you think it's Dark Troopers or something totally different?
I would assume it's getting Palpy back. I think 100% the cloning technology that they're after is getting Palpy back. Once he's back in any type of form, like let's say he's Harry Pottering this shit and he's like growing back in a weird way. If once he gets his mind back, I think he's going to start working on like, oh, well, I can't rule this shit right now. Let's send in like a Snoke. Let's start working on a Snoke or something to send back to rule the galaxy. Which,
and that probably goes through a few phases too.
you know, that really says about something about the power or the weakness of the galaxy. Like, we made fun of Snoke right there because he's like a failed science experiment, but he literally takes over the galaxy again. Like, Luke, what the fuck are you doing? You killed everybody bad, and then Snoke's just puttering around, half melted face, can't control shit. But
well, that's the devious thing about the plan is that he gets Snoke to corrupt Kylo. Kylo fucks around. Luke goes into hiding, and that gives room for them to First Order to move in.
No, you're right, but like, come on, Luke. You are number one badass. You are hero number one in all the galaxy. Leia's probably hero number 2. And look at her. She doesn't do shit. She's still trying to pull the political strings of the galaxy to make everything right. Like, Leia, whip up your goddamn lightsaber and cut fuckers in half, and then we'll talk about it later.
She gave up, man. She didn't want to do it. Going down a path you can't follow.
I wish she had more Han in her. Whoa, that sounded dirty.
She did that once, and it came out with a fucking Sith Lord, so that's not happening again.
I can't do that. The more of like the shoot first, ask questions later. Like I wish Leia had that in her, which early on I felt like she did. Like she would just like, come on, fly boys. Like,
well, I think like when people say Star Wars is not about politics, I think that's hilarious because it's totally about politics, and I think the politics is what fucks things up. They're like, we destroyed the Empire, everyone can be peaceful. Oh wait, now we have to like you can't just get all the stormtroopers, get rid of them, and then everything goes back to normal. You still have to put something. You have to put a regime in place. You have to have a government. You have to restore the Republic and have a central world and redo the Senate and everything. And she's probably trying to manage all that, and it just never goes according to plan because everyone's involved in politics. Everyone wants their own little power. I want my world to do a little bit better than yours, and I want a seat in the Senate, and you shouldn't be leading this, and you're Darth Vader's daughter. You don't have any control here, and it just fucking spirals downwards from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Always.
What was that book that I started reading that It was
Lost
about Leia
Stars?
it was about Leia and Han. Huh?
Was it Lost Stars, or was it the Princess Leia novel or something like that?
Maybe Lost Stars.
Like the one where they're doing like propaganda against Leia because she's Darth Vader's.
Yeah. Was that Lost Stars?
I haven't read it. I just know kind of like the Cliff's Notes.
Yeah.
It was either that or it was the Leia Princess of Alderaan one. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think it was Lost Stars because I have that here somewhere. Yeah, it was. I really love Leia on the surface, but when you really start digging in to her character, man, she just has so much potential and she doesn't use any of it. Many, many times.
Well, I think there's a gap between 6 and 7 that we haven't seen a lot of. Like she's in a couple books, but it's
she's obviously gets trained. We see that flashback for her and Luke training with lightsabers. So
But we don't have like any meat there. We just know that finally confirmed that Leia does do a little bit of Jedi training.
A little bit.
Well, I think she gives it up. Doesn't Luke say?
Dude,
she was worried about it.
You are Jesus' daughter. Like, you need to figure your shit out.
If your brother's not going to do it, you need to step up and do it. Fuck this
Yeah.
government. Put someone else in place. Make your own clone. Have them run shit in the Senate and go out and slaughter people.
You know what I wish they showed a little more? Like, dude, 30 seconds in episode 9 where Leia's actually dropping knowledge to Rey, which we don't see. It's hard because obviously Carrie Fisher passed away, so it's like I'm sure it was super limited, and maybe they were planning on that. But I do wish they showed some type of Leia knew a lot of shit about the Jedi. Like whether or not she whips out the lightsaber and does battles and weird shit like that is one thing, but like at least drop the knowledge so Rey has it, and we just don't.
Yeah,
I'm gonna run the course again. Like, Jesus, is that what you do all day? Is read coloring books and run the course?
You know what I want to know? If Luke can come back as a Force ghost, why doesn't he just like train Rey?
Yeah.
Like, you got to think when Luke was back, Yoda and Ben were both dead. So if Luke got any training at all, other than looking around for, old Jedi archives, like, it had to have been Ben and Yoda and probably his dad. So why doesn't he just stick around as a Force ghost and train Rey until she's done?
Yeah,
Or why don't they at least tag team it?
Are
you singing a lullaby over there? What's going on?
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, I think Force ghosts are useful.
They got to recharge after a while.
I think Force ghosts are only there when the person's thinking about them,
or when they reach like their lowest point, critical point.
But it's almost like the Force ghosts. They're not actually there. They're in your memory, and they can talk to you somewhat in your memory. It's almost like when Han talked
to Kylo in 9.
Like, he's not actually there. He's just remembering. Now that he's let all that hate and anger go, he can realize, like, oh, my dad was right about A, B, and C. Like, and that's what. We just see it played out on screen.
I like that thought, but we do see Yoda detonate a tree, and we do see Luke grab the lightsaber before it gets thrown into the wreckage. So there is a little bit of physical interaction there.
Yeah, the Luke grabbing the lightsaber's like a big spoiler. Like the
Spoiler?
lightning, you could. No, not spoiler, but like it kind of wrecks my theory.
Oh, yeah.
But the lightning, like you could, I don't know, play it off like it was something.
Oh yeah, just nature just happened to.
Well, it's the will of the Force, and Yoda was just there to take part. It's time for the Jedi to move on or change. So lightning bolt to your fucking tree, bro.
Yeah, I haven't seen Last Jedi. All right, maybe I will go back and watch it. I haven't seen it in a while. Maybe I'll do a sequel run.
Man,
there's so much good there.
There is. There's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that they did really, really well, and there's a lot of stuff that they fucked. So.
I hope their next bout of things is handled very similarly to how Marvel has been handled. That's my only wish for them going forward.
Hell, isn't that
what's going on? You becoming a Force ghost right now?
Mopar just ascended, became one with the Force. Whatever. I don't even know what the fuck happened. I think when I became Force Ghost, I lost all my knowledge. I only had 2 or 3 things in my mind.
Can you see Force ghosts on the cameras? You just disappeared now.
Yeah.
No, I was just saying, like, I guess my hope is with the amount of things that they announced as new Star Wars projects that they are attributing or they are approaching it like Marvel. But that's my main hope.
Let me shit on our sandwich here.
Okay.
I am not done with it yet, but I think I'm about 50% of the way through the first High Republic book.
Okay.
Now, I have heard extremely bad things about the second one.
Yeah.
From many people. The first one, I've heard mixed reviews. But like I said, I'm probably halfway through. I'm like at chapter 20 or something. It's really weird. So I'll explain this and see if it makes sense to in your head. There's no main character. There's no main characters.
Like the Jedi Order is the main character.
It's like an event happens.
Yeah.
So the release of that, like the first 2 or 3 chapters, that's an ongoing thing for like half the book. They're dealing with whatever hit that ship that.
There's like an explosion or something, right?
There's an explosion or something, and it basically like shotguns the ship pieces into a
planet,
solar system. Yeah, into a planet.
Yeah, the
So
debris.
The whole first half of the book is a bunch of people saving this planet from the shards of the ship. And there is a bunch of Jedi, but like I don't know anybody's name. I don't know one single person's name in the entire book because there's no main characters. It jumps around, and it's like, all right, well, these are the politicians on Hetzal Prime is the system that's in peril. So it's like, okay, these are the politicians. This is what's happening on the ground. Okay, these are the Jedi. They're coming in to help. Okay, this is the military. These are the citizens.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like it bounces around, and then the day is saved for the most part. I mean, millions of people died, but it wasn't like billions because they did prevent a
Sure.
huge disaster. And then the only main character I know is the
You don't even know
the
him.
leader of the Republic. What
You
the
don't even
fuck?
know him.
Chancellor.
The Supreme Chancellor.
There's a chancellor, the Supreme Chancellor, and she is the only person that I know. I mean, I'm 20 chapters in.
It's like the Geonosis scene. There's like 100 Jedi there. How are you supposed to remember all of them?
But it's like less than that. They didn't set up an Obi-Wan or anything beforehand. They just threw you in, which it's just different. We're not following character. There's no character development because everybody fucking dies or they're forgotten. Like, okay, this person did this. They saved them. Now the galaxy's saved, and now let's go back to Coruscant. And they describe Coruscant as a like less city-filled planet at this point.
Okay.
But it's like it's on the up and up, so like shit's growing.
Yeah.
And so it's like a weird snapshot of the galaxy and the
Okay.
turmoil that's going on, but there's no characters involved yet.
Yeah, that's
It's a very
interesting.
weird book.
Well,
I'm not gonna
'cause-
say I hate it or love it, but it is weird to jump into a Star Wars book and not have main characters.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I guess if you're establishing a whole new era, like, what are your options? You can explore a couple characters at a time over the course of like 12 books, or you put everything in the first one and get like everything established. It's probably what's happening. They're trying to get the foundation out there with like this whole era all at once, and then you can explore little different segments in different books.
Yeah, I'm hoping. Now,
Because I will say, sorry, just relating to Marvel again, like the first phase and a half in Marvel it's like Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Iron Man, Captain America.
Yeah.
Like it is really repetitive for a little bit there. But you also kind of have to start slow and introduce people, Winter Soldiers here, War Machines here, before you can expand it all. So maybe they're just trying to expedite things and throw it all into the first book.
Yeah, the only like group that they come up a couple times is the Nihil, and I know we mentioned that there. It's basically
bad guys.
savage marauders. They're basically pirates in space. Let's just say that they don't put that name to it, but it's a gang of pirates.
Yep.
And that's pretty much the only thing that I know. I haven't met the Nihil yet. They're kind of just discussing them right now, so it's. Yeah,
Well, I look forward to your spoiler-filled review in a couple weeks.
Yeah. I'm not wowed, Disney. I'm not wowed. It is unique. It's
That's
interesting.
unfortunate.
It's fun. I'll
That's
say
good.
that. It's fun because it is a different snapshot of a universe that we know, but it is very different.
Okay.
It is cool to be on Coruscant and the Supreme Chancellor's talking about. There's like a park that for generations has been untouched, and they won't touch it, even though everything else is building up. And she basically, it was cool because she put it in like words like, you know, a mountain's big until you build everything up, and then the mountain's like flat with everything else, so it's no longer a big thing. It's literally just like a bump in the ground at this point.
Right.
So it's almost like nature's a second thought on Coruscant now.
Right. Makes sense.
So which is a cool, you know, perspective.
She's trying to preserve Central Park, basically.
Basically, no,
Yeah.
it's on Coruscant. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. To be honest, I will not read the second one.
I'm just gonna look up a very expansive review. I just want Alex to just give me the plot. Just in 20 minutes, I want to know what happens. What should I be aware of? Is anyone really cool that I should pay attention to? That's what I want to know. Is it bad that, like, before you brought up that you were reading the High Republic book, I forgot the High Republic was even a thing for a second? Is this a Star Wars podcast?
It's because it launched. Then they launched the second one like 2 days later, and you're like, whoa! And then no one talked about it.
Certain subsets of Star Wars fans are talking about it, I'm sure.
Yeah, shitters.
I don't know. I forgot, man. I really did. You think how much of Marvel's success in the MCU hinges on the fact that these are already established characters with storylines?
0%. 0%, man. They walk through the origin story of every single character that's on screen there.
Yeah.
So it's 0%. They started brand fucking new.
Yeah, I agree because I've, said many times I don't read comics. I don't know any of these people except for kind of like peripherally I know about Cap and Iron Man. But I didn't know their actual stories. So, yeah, I would agree with that. And sometimes the characters that I didn't know anything about are some of my favorite, like Vision. I never would have known who Vision is at all before I started the MCU. So, they've captivated me.
The one thing I will throw out there about the High Republic is people die, man. A lot of people die, and it's for it not having main characters, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah.
Yeah, which it's called Star Wars. People should die.
For people not having main characters, people die.
Yeah, I mean, to spoil it, there's a big piece of the ship that's headed towards like the main star in the system. Yeah. If nothing happens, this piece of the ship is like a fuselage.
Yep.
So it's gonna hit and then just blow the entire system to pieces. So no one's gonna survive.
Nice.
So there's like 40 Jedi at the scene, and they all basically interconnect their force, and they all direct the piece of ship away from the star. I know, I said piece of ship.
They're combining their force powers and like channeling.
It is. Yeah, they are. And it is. There's small little snippets like that the Jedi, how they work together, their point of view is a little different. It's not as get involved. It's more let's help people. Mm-hmm. So that's cool. But yeah, I mean, in doing that, Jedi die. In connecting and straining themselves so much,
mm-hmm.
they die.
Yeah.
Some of them die like when they're in their ships. So they're literally actively flying, and this one Jedi asks them to help her out to move this thing. Like, we all need to focus. Some of them literally run into things because they're so focused on, because they're all fucked anyways.
Yeah.
If they don't move this thing, they're all gonna die anyways. So like every ounce of energy got put into moving that fuselage away from the star. So
yeah, it's interesting that they're starting off with a catastrophic event.
I like it.
Yeah.
And it's not like war again. They're not being like, it's just like, oh my God, this thing happened. Like, we need to react. The other one thing, real small, that I do like is there's a ongoing saying that's, quote, "We are all the Republic." Everybody says we are all the Republic.
Interesting.
Which is kind of cool.
Battle cry.
We are all the Republic.
Slogan. I am all the Sith.
I
am all the Republic. Oh, Star Wars. I believe in you.
All the Republic.
For the Republic.
We are all the Republic. That's like their military. Hey, get this shit done. We are all the Republic, bro.
I still believe in you.
I believe in you. So where do you think Star Wars is going to go with Luke? We saw psychopathic badass Luke manhandle gargantuan dark troopers with the swings of his blade, and now
Yeah. I mean, I can tell you what I want them to do.
what do you want them to do?
I want them to cast Winter Soldier as Luke.
Is that too on point, like we
No.
were discussing earlier?
It's perfect.
Okay.
It's the same as casting Rosario as Ahsoka. It's like, yes, everyone wants it. They look the fucking same. Do it. It'll be great. I want them to recast. I want them to cast him as Luke. I want them to find a young 13, 15, 16-year-old for young Kylo Ren. And they also obviously have baby Grogu. I want them to do Luke's Jedi Academy, which fails. Season finale is, Kylo blows it up, or it blows up and Kylo is framed for it or whatever. That's what I want. I want a series about that.
Why does Kylo run for his life and join the bad guys if he didn't actually kill or blow up the...
Good question. I did not finish all of that comic series, which I probably should. It's discussed in that, The Rise of Kylo Ren.
Well, he runs for his life because aren't there a couple Jedi that confront him and think that he did it? So he's like running. Okay.
Yeah, and they fight, and he ends up escaping. And then they're trying to figure out, like, did he actually do this? He's not strong enough. He never could have done that. Luke would have foreseen it, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to finish that series.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird how fickle the mind is. Luke is supposed to be, like, all-knowing at this point, and he just, like, looks at his nephew and he's like, he's dreaming about evil things. Let's cut him in half. Cut him in half.
It's more than that. I know. I think that's what's so frustrating is, like, I know there's more to it than that. We just haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's what...
Going down a path I can't follow.
I guess if I was doing Star Wars, well, there's a lot of things I would be doing differently. But if that was a big point of contention with fans, that would be one of the first things I would want to explore and elaborate on in more detail. It's like there's a very brief moment in Last Jedi where you see Luke looks into Kylo's head, doesn't trust him, tries to kill him, blah, blah, blah. If that's like a big piece of why Luke went into exile in the first place, like when we get a couple years after Last Jedi and we're going to do Disney Plus series and whatever, that's one of the first things I would want to touch on.
I wonder what's poisoning Luke's mind for him to do that. Like, Luke is the only person that found the good in Darth fucking Vader, but a nephew that has a bad dream, let's chop him to bits. Like...
Well, think of how traumatizing it was to find out that, yes, he did bring Vader back at the very end, but what happened with Vader and Palpatine enslaved the entire galaxy.
Yeah.
And you got to think that whole journey after figuring all that out, saving everybody.
So he's considering one nephew's not worth the galaxy. Let's just chop him up now so we save everybody.
Yeah, I mean, just get it out of the way. You might as well. Leia might be pissed, but she'll understand after a while.
After a while.
But
probably would have saved the galaxy. There would have been no Kylo Ren, no Knights of Ren.
Or him not doing that in the first place would have also saved the galaxy.
True.
Kylo would have told Snoke to fuck off. My uncle loves me. Fuck you. Yeah, I don't know. I guess my explanation would be like, it probably took him a lot of convincing to restart the Jedi in the first place. He's like, I don't know. I'm the only one. I'm still learning from these two ghosts. I don't know that much yet. It's dangerous. Force powers are dangerous. We saw what happened. The galaxy's still not fully healed. Someone could use this in the wrong way and take over again. I don't know. I'm not sure. And then he finally does. And then, of course, what happens? That's what happens.
There's always a domino to be pushed.
Right.
That's the moral of the story. No matter what you do,
yeah,
the future events are happening regardless. Yeah. So it's like Skynet.
Yes. Yeah, exactly.
No matter, you're not preventing it. You're just delaying it, you bitch. So get ready.
Well, now I want to see something where they go back in time, save Kylo. He's actually a good guy, and something else causes Luke to go into exile.
Yeah. Well, something else would cause Kylo to go to the dark side.
Yeah.
Like instead of Luke
Or one of the other apprentices would go to the dark side. Baby Grogu goes to the dark side.
There you go. And then everybody's fucked.
Yeah, see, how are they going to...
Very hard to hit. How are you supposed to swing at a child flipping around on the ground? Anakin was pretty good at it.
Sorry, I just got so triggered.
What?
I just can't believe how good, like, they set themselves up for such things and they don't fucking follow through. Like, you just gave me one of the most loved Star Wars things of all time. The Mandalorian. Everyone fucking loves The Mandalorian. Baby Grogu. Everyone loves Baby Yoda, Baby Grogu. He gets picked up by Luke. How is the next fucking thing you make not Luke's Jedi Academy? How is that not the next thing that you announce on Disney Plus? Like, why do you have to tease something, cliffhanger? Let's do 7 other movies before we get back to that. I guess Marvel does the same thing. I don't know.
I don't even know what movie's next.
Rogue Squadron is next.
That's what we're banking on.
And that's...
It could be the greatest movie of all time, but that's what we're banking on.
I'm sure it'll be great.
I'm sure,
too. I need Rogue Squadron and Episode 10 and Rian Johnson's trilogy all at the same time. Because otherwise you're going to risk the Squadrons effect. It's like Rogue Squadron is all we have. Oh, I didn't want just a flying movie. Like, I want other things as well. I need a... Star Wars is so many things. I need the war. I need the Jedi mystical stuff. I need the Pirates bounty hunter stuff. I need all that happening at once.
Dude.
We are shitters today.
We've got... No, I mean, that's what we're here for, but we've got 2.5 fucking years.
Is Holiday 22 or 23?
23. See, this is it, man. We're Star Wars fans. Like, give us Star Wars content. Now we're pushing shit back. Obi-Wan, I don't even know when that fucking thing's coming out. Cassian's been teased for 3 straight years. Is that even happening? And then they're like, no, guys, get this. Rogue Squadron's coming. When? What decade is that? I just went Marty McFly. You're telling me.
This is a Marvel podcast for the next 2 years. Just FYI. We're talking about Marvel and Nintendo.
Yep, Marvel, Nintendo. Dash a little Pokemon on there.
Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. Listen, I don't know.
I wonder what their mindset is. I guess that's my question. Is you have something called Star Wars, which is pretty much the biggest thing of all time. Actually, now probably not, because Marvel is probably...
Well, besides fucking Hello Kitty, yeah, it is.
Confirmed here on the show, of course. But, like, regardless of how people feel about the sequel trilogies, you've got your money back for what you invested in it.
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want. And you're telling me maybe it is. That's what I'm saying, is maybe they're putting more money and more effort and more resources into Marvel right now. They have to pull it from somewhat of the same funds.
I don't think there's any issue with them putting equal effort into both franchises.
Well, hopefully not because of like characters, actors. I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Because if there's a lot of 12 fucking movies in Marvel, and a couple of the characters are supposed to be in the Star Wars film. Like,
yeah, that's true. I honestly don't know what their plan is, and I'm just hoping a couple of years from now we look back and we're like, oh, okay, I got it. It's all part of the plan. That's what I'm hoping. But you never know. While you're in it, it's so frustrating. It's like, come on, man. Just make 12 things at once. Come on.
It is really frustrating. It is extremely frustrating. The issue is the resources that Disney has to them. They should be pumping out, bare minimum, 1 movie a year, and then working on a series a year.
Right.
Like, that's not an outrageous ask. Give me 10 episodes of a series.
Well, they did that for 5 years.
Whatever. Yeah.
Well, without the series. But they did 5 movies in a row for 5 years.
Yeah, and it was successful. So
just keep going.
Just keep going.
More.
Well, and it's I'm
best podcast ever.
The issue is I like the series, but they're not 100% rewatchable like a movie is. There's so much time allotted in a series.
We'll see.
look, I love Mando. I think it's one of the greatest things that's ever happened to Star Wars. But like, I don't just put on a Mando episode like I will Rogue One or any of the episodes, any of the
Yeah, because
Skywalker
you
episodes.
kind of got to do like a season. You can't just do one episode.
Right, which is that's 10 hours almost. Like what?
Well, same with WandaVision. Like I'm not just gonna go watch one random episode where they're doing like the 1990s sitcom. You know what I mean? I want to watch the whole. I treat it like a extended movie. I want to watch the whole series at once.
But it's that rewatchability. We do the same thing with video games. Like Fallen Order was great, and that's where it lives. Is great.
Right.
I'm not going to replay it. There's no other ways to replay it.
Right.
So like WandaVision's great. Mando's great. We even rewatched Mando, and I liked certain things even more.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you know what I'm going to put on is goddamn episode 3 again, or watch episode 7 again, or shit on episode 4 because I haven't watched it for a while. I want more. I want more, man. I want more.
And I know I shouldn't. Yeah. I don't think it's too much to ask. I honestly don't know what they're thinking. I'm worried that they're doing. I'm worried that they're kind of like floundering like DC was there for a little bit. And I'm sure they'll bring it back. Star Wars. I don't think they can really kill it. Like people might be annoyed or they might tune out for like a year, but I don't think they can really kill Star Wars. It'll be back. I just don't know why they're taking so long. I mean, what they should do is tell, hey, Jon Favreau, you're in charge. Whatever they've done for Marvel, you're going to do that for Star Wars. What do you think? Okay, Mandalorian here, Luke Skywalker here, Kenobi here, episode 10, 11, and 12. Ryan Johnson gets his own thing. 3 Rogue Squadron movies. Like, throw everything at the wall, man. Come on.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm looking at this is like a bastard schedule of what I'm looking at, but we've got the Bad Batch right around the corner. All right. I'll watch it. I'll probably enjoy it, but...
Oh, yeah, Bad Batch. That's in like 2 weeks.
Yeah. The Book of
weeks.
Boba Fett is allotted for the end of this year. I think that was pushed back even, so I don't know.
No, that is still coming at the end of the year. Mando season 3 was pushed back
Okay.
to next year, and Kenobi's also not till next year?
It says Kenobi's still to be TBA.
To be announced. And then what about...
Ahsoka's to be announced. Rangers of the New Republic still to be announced.
Yeah, I expected that
Andor
for
has
those.
been pushed back to 2022.
But...
The Acolyte, Obi-Wan, Rangers,
yeah.
Ahsoka, that's all to be announced.
Which I expected for those. I mean, they just teased those recently.
See, but...
I expected Andor to be out by now, honestly.
Yeah. Andor's been on the books for like 3 years. Wasn't Andor announced
first, yeah.
at Chicago?
No, I think it was announced before that. I'm not sure. I don't want to quote, but Chicago was already 2 years ago.
3?
2.
2 years ago.
Yeah, it was April 19.
I mean, they have a sizzle reel of Andor already.
Well, if it's anything like the quality of like Falcon Winter Soldier, I'm happy to wait for it.
Absolutely. I mean, fuck me.
No.
I don't want you to launch something just because we're not getting anything. If you're going to launch it well. Give me something good.
Yeah.
So I'll wait, but like to be like, hey,
be more transparent
Hey.
with the schedules. How about that?
Andor's on its way. Well, when?
It's coming out.
5 years, man. 5. Dude, it's
They got all right. So they announced. Let's say we're back in Chicago, 2019.
yeah.
They announced Andor.
Yep.
I want to say it was announced before that, but let's just say it wasn't.
I think unofficially it was before, but yeah, I think the official, yeah.
Yeah. So let's just say they officially announced it. Since they announced Andor, we've not only gotten season 7 of Clone Wars, we're also getting the Bad Batch
Yeah.
before Andor is even ready to come out, and season 2 of Mando.
And a Book of Boba.
Right, which is no one had any fucking clue about that. I almost wonder if they put Boba Fett in season 2 to see if people actually liked it, and then they're like, "Oh, they like it. Let's do a show." I don't know. I'm just guessing. I don't know.
See, it just feels like they're grabbing. They're just
What are they grabbing, Mobar?
well, they're making money, man. That's the whole point. And if something seems to hit well, and then they just jump down that path. See, the issue is they're going after the money grab instead of creating great stuff. Well, the stuff might still be good. Like, it's not from a creative standpoint. Like, oh, I got this idea for the storyline. Let's do this. Instead, it does feel like that. Hey, we put Boba Fett in it. Everybody seemed to. It's almost like a what do they call that? Like they test people with their reactions. Test group.
Yeah, focus group.
Focus group. Thank you. It's almost like they're using us as a focus group to make more money. Hey, we'll put Ahsoka in one episode. We'll see. Oh, it did well. Rosario, your comeback. We got it. It's like whoa. Why can't we just do Ahsoka? Well,
right. Yeah, I don't know, but at the same time, they're also talking about doing like Acolyte, which is brand new, and the droids thing. I feel like no one really wants that, but they're willing to do it. I feel kind of spreading it around a little bit.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean the Rogue Squadron thing is like, I think people do want that. It is.
Yeah, that's like a
throwback.
dearly loved book series that we haven't read that we named our show after.
I didn't even. I know I've mentioned this, but Patty Jenkins, who's doing.
Wonder Woman, yeah.
The director of Rogue Squadron was of Wonder Woman, which I rewatched, months ago and was like, whoa, this is better than I even remember. So.
Yeah, first Wonder Woman's good. 84 had potential, man. I don't know what they focus group the fuck out of that one too, I guess. I don't know.
What do you guys want? Oh, Washington.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just
you got
wish.
it.
Does your boyfriend come back? Kind of. He takes over a guy's body. He looks like the guy to everybody else, but he looks like Steve Rogers to her. Steve Rogers? Steve? That's Captain America. Crossover!
It's all.
Right. I've got all the superheroes mixed up. We've been talking too long.
Yeah. I guess we'll see what happens with the Bad Batch. Even for me, absolutely loving season 7 of Clone Wars. Maybe I'm just getting too old, man.
I don't know.
Is that a thing? Like, I'm growing out of the Star Wars stuff because all they keep doing is cartoons, Rebels, and
we become the
Resistance.
very thing we swore to destroy. All we
Yeah.
want is prequel content.
Yeah, that's true.
We're just like the old guys that all they wanted was original trilogy stuff.
That's not true.
I know, I'm just
we like
kidding.
the sequels. We like it's the cartoon.
We just
aspects.
spent 30 minutes shitting on the sequels.
You're
Top
right.
5 favorite superheroes. Why are the sequels terrible? I like the sequels. I like them.
And now we're here. Yeah.
It's okay. We're just in a particular mood right now. It's fine.
Yeah, shitter 3000.
It's hard to watch Marvel do everything great and then go to Star Wars and be like, guys, you're the same company.
Exactly. And I think that's where the root of my hatred is.
Yeah.
Like,
We're in, it's a comparison phase right now.
You're doing this whole thing so fucking well.
Yeah.
And then you've just dropped the other thing that has almost more potential than what you're doing well. Like,
yeah.
Fuck, like, come on, guys. And they're in a weird lull with the MCU. Like, they're putting out cool stuff, but it's not like the big hitters like Thor and all this shit. They're doing the side stuff, and they're killing it.
Well, they also had a slowdown because of COVID. But if you look at the slate of Marvel stuff happening this year, because Falcon Winter Soldier is just ending, we're going to get Black Widow and then the next series like pretty quickly. There's a lot of stuff coming out this year.
I'm going to...
Let's end with that. What's the Marvel slate?
Oh, I looked at Disney's stock because I was wondering, did COVID really, really fucking hit Disney? Because they did like fire like thousands of people.
Yeah.
But so yeah, 2020 took a huge dip, but it picked right back up, and they're at all-time highs right now.
Yeah.
So they got the cash, man. They've got it.
So we got WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man 3, all coming this year. That's 8 things? 7 things?
Yeah.
So it's going to heat up. It's really going to heat up. I'm excited.
Man, if I only bought some Disney stock around 2010, Jesus.
Yeah, if only I could have predicted they were going to buy Star Wars and Marvel and everything else. 20th Century Fox.
That's true. They were doing $30 a share. Now it's $200.
Well, that's the same for any good company. Bought their stock back in the day.
Yeah, they're on a fucking spike right now. All right, guys, we're done with this shit.
Let me go open my Robinhood app real quick. This
Let me,
episode brought to you
just-
by GameStop. All right, 265.
265. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll catch you next time.
Okay. Oh man, that was a super long episode. Well, not super long, but
we
like,
hate Star Wars.
Man, we're still on the stream. We hate Star Wars.
It's official, guys.
Top live stream.
We're renaming the show.